Hello, and today we're doing a Premier League predictions for match day number 35 of the 2020 to 21 season. And what is the theme of the week this week? To be honest, I've not had the time to think about it. So it's going to be all things Italy, spaghetti, pizzeria. That's right. If you love a spag bowl, then get your spoon in and enjoy this week. But what is the colour of the week? It's going to be brown. And the song of the week is by a very good singer who is called Harry Styles. And it's called What the Fire For You. Just let me adore you. That's the only thing I ever do. It's the only thing I ever do. So it's Adore You by Harry Styles. But before we do anything, before we get carried away, which we clearly are doing right now, let's have a quick look back at how we got on in terms of the predictions last week. So last week, we didn't do too well. We don't want to dwell on it too much, but it was a bit of a nightmare. So let's just quickly check up on that then, shall we? Basically, it all had the promise, but then it didn't quite have the product. We had no one commenting on it, and that's because it didn't come out. So it was literally zilch product. No, but I will actually tell you what I went and predicted. So here it is. Now I can't find it. Okay, no worries. Instead, we will make it up. We went with... No, the first game was between Leicester and Southampton. I went with the Leicester win. It was a draw, so nothing there. We went with a Palace defeat to Man City, but we went with a 1-0. And it was 2-0. So then we get a correct result. Not too bad. But then we had the game between the likes of Brighton and Leeds. We went with the Leeds win. Brighton won, of course. Then it was Chelsea and Fulham. We went with 2-0. And that's what it was. Come on, 8 points. That's much more like it. 11 overall. The next one was Everton Villa. We went with a 2-2. It was 2-1 to Villa. Dope. So still on 11. Then the first game of Sunday, 4-0. Yes, you heard that right. 4-0 to Burnley. Wow. Unbelievable, Jeff. Fair enough. No, I'm talking about last week. What am I doing? I've actually lost my mind. Right. Wolves didn't play Burnley this week. Instead, the first game of the Sunday... Right, I actually need to get my life together. What even is the fixtures from last week? I think at this point it's lockdown, so you've got to allow it. Like, all the fixtures are blurring into one. So what actually happened last week? Like, I don't even know at this point. No, the last game was Burnley-West Ham. I remember that one. But what came before that? Right. We were on the right track with the Saturday games, but the Sunday was Newcastle-Arsenal. That's it. 2-0 to Arsenal is what it finished as. I think I went with an Arsenal win, but I think I didn't go with 2-0. I think I went with something a bit different to that. And then Spurs v Sheffield United, it was 4-0. I went with 2-0, so just the 3 points there. And United game, of course, got postponed. We went with a original score prediction of 2-2. And then finally, West Brom Wolves, we went with a Wolves win, I think. No, West Brom win, 2-1. And it was 1-1. And then Burnley West Ham, we went with a solid 2-1 West Ham win, get in. So that's another 8-pointer. So 2 correct scores for me this week. I'm not sure what other people predicted because there was no video. But I heard that apparently Douglas on his channel, the Dugout Football channel, that he got 3 correct scores. Am I right? I think so. But anyway, we're back to the Predictions League this week, and we're trying to restructure what wasn't there last week. So let me just try and update that good old Predictions League for you people. And then we'll get into this week of predictions. So make sure you smash a like on it. And remember, this week is the scoring system of 3 points for the correct result, 5 for the goal difference and the result, and 8 for the correct scoreline. So, The Premier League Predictions League. Let's be having ya. So if you got yourself 3 correct scorelines, Douglas, that is pretty solid. I'm not quite sure what it was 100% because I would have to look it up. But let's just give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's make it interesting and we'll make it quite spicy. So for the Premier League Predictions League, we know that realistically it's going to be Douglas and me that comment down below. So let's put our, final prediction totals from last week in this table then, shall we? So I got myself, I think it was a total of 2 correct scores, which means I ended the week on a very good 25 points. So therefore, I am on an overall total this week, or going into this week, I should say, of 663 points. Don't mind if I do. So then, who is in second? Of course, it's Douglas. He scored himself 3 correct scorelines. So we'll say you score a bit more than 25. Let's go with the very good score of 35. Well, if you did score 35, what would that do for this week? It would mean you'd be on 640 points. Very, very good. But that has closed the gap on me, so nervous times. I'm on 663. Douglas, you're on 640. Just to make the competition exciting. And I promise I will try and catch up with the predictions this week. So drop them down below and I'll give you a shout out if you can get some right. Jack is in third with 56. And still fourth with 20 is Nathan Heaver. Right, let's move on to this week. Match week 35. You've got the first game in this game week between the likes of... It's Leicester and Newcastle. Now, Leicester played on Friday night, this time last week. So, interesting. But basically, with this one, I'm going with a Leicester win. It's just got to be, in my opinion. Because, Leicester, they're looking so good. And if they can win this game, I'm pretty sure it will clinch top 4. So, they've got the incentive. Newcastle, probably safe. They don't have to go for this one. It's not too much of a problem. I feel like Leicester are going to fill their boots. Not necessarily a thrashing, but they'll be comfortable enough. And I think that they've got certainly enough quality to get the result on the day. So, let me just find my predictions and we shall be reading them out. Not going to lie, the predictions have gone walkabouts. It's quite silly of them. Right, where is it then? It really is an absolute wonder. We'll put some, what's the word? Music in the background. No, I'm joking. Don't want to get copyrighted. Where is it? Yeah, this is a bit of a nightmare, people. But we keep on going. The show doesn't stop here. Oh yes, it was worth the wait. Here we go. Right, what is my first prediction? It's Leicester City 3, Newcastle United 1. And goal scorers in this first game of this juicy weekend will be Timothy Castagna. And then the second goal of the game, I'm going for a net buster from forward Kelechi Iheanacho. Then Newcastle get a goal back. They pull a goal back through the forward Callum Wilson. And the third goal of the game for the Foxes comes from midfielder James Maddison. Now it's Leeds up against Spurs. This could be an exciting game because both sides love to attack. I do say that. They were not brilliant under Mourinho with the part of the bus football, but no, they are quite good on the break, Spurs. And since Ryan Mason has come in, they've actually been playing quite well. Really good performance against Sheffield United. Fairly decent win against Southampton. Obviously, the disappointment of the Carabao Cup final, it's not exactly ideal for Mason. But yeah, this is the kind of game I think they can attack. They can go for it. They can do something special. And Leeds, yeah, they've been pretty good this season. They are still with an outsider's chance of the Europa League, but it's very, very unlikely. So they need to basically win all of their remaining games, and I just don't see that happening. So I feel like Spurs will just be stronger on the day, more clinical on the break. And yes, Marcelo Bielsa is a very charismatic and enigmatic, manager. Don't even know if that's a word. And he likes to kind of take on these big six teams, and he's got some big points against them. Liverpool, City this season, but not this time in my opinion. Leeds United 0, Spurs 2. Goal scorers, Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. Now it's the game between Sheffield United and Crystal Palace. Now, it's funny, isn't it? 2 seasons ago, this fixture, Sheffield United were hosting their first game back in the big time for ages, and they got a fantastic win at Bramall Lane with a goal from John Lundstrom. Those were the days, eh? But not these days. Sheffield United are a championship team now, and they have had an awful, awful season, and that was compounded by that Spurs game. Just so poor, and yeah, they got the odd win against Brighton, those kind of teams, but can they do it against Palace? Well, Palace, their season is also winding down, and they'll want to just kind of finish the season as best they can, but with players like Wilfried Zaha, you feel as though he needs to be playing at better parts of his career. He needs to be going on to better things. So, if they keep him, fair play. He's a great player, but they need to get a better overall team as not just Zaha to get them through. But to get them through in this game, I think Zaha will do just that. Sheffield United 1, Crystal Palace 2. And Zaha to get the opener. Then Sheffield United equalise through their main threat, David McGoldrick. And then Zaha gets a second on the day to make it an away win for the Flying Eagles. Then it's a game between their rivals, Man City and Chelsea. And this is a big game, probably the game of the week, because we know that with a win, Man City will be champions. And I think they will do it easily, for my opinion. But will it be an easy game? Well, Chelsea, they are going to be going for it, and they will probably face each other in the FA Cup, the Champions League, if it's an all-English final. I hope it isn't, because that usually is quite boring. But no, I think City will have enough to do the job. If City don't win and Villa still beat Man United, I think that still means they're champions. But either way, we know it's going to come very, very soon. And that moment when City get their, 4th title or whatever it is, 3rd title in the last 5 years, has been incredible. They're still a team that they're threatening to dominate, and they've just been incredible. Their signings, Ruben Diaz, but people like Bernardo Silva don't even get a look in at this point, and he's just quality, so quality. So City will have enough against Chelsea, in my opinion, to win. But I think Chelsea will put up a fight. They've defensively been quite solid, but not this time, I think. City 1, Chelsea 0, and the only goal, and of course a very nervy game for the to-be champions, is going to be a bit of a differential goal scorer, but it's the left-back, Zinchenko, against Chelsea. Then it's Liverpool v Saints. It is the Reds versus the Saints. And do I think that Southampton can get a result at Anfield? No, I don't. Because, yeah, Liverpool have been pretty poor at Anfield, but they're starting to get back in the groove. They really do need to get Europa League. Champions League is probably a tough one right now, but at least some Europe for Liverpool, because they got knocked out in the Real Madrid game in the Champions League, and they're just going to be thinking they need to get back to that kind of form they showed last season. But this is the kind of game you'd expect them to win. Southampton have been pretty leaky defensively, and I'd say Liverpool 3, Southampton 0. Goals, first of all, from Sadio Mane, the former Saint. Then Liverpool get their second through Trent Alexander-Arnold. And the final goal for the Reds, I reckon, will come from none other than Andy Robertson. Now it's a game between Wolves and Brighton and Hove Albion. And this is another interesting game. It is on BBC Sport, so Wolves fans will hope that it's not the same kind of fate that they faced in that BBC Sport game with Burnley a couple of weeks ago. But Wolves this season have been awful. Their defensive record has not been good. And Brighton actually looked really good against Leeds. They had put in a really solid display. Fantastic goal from Danny Welbeck, the second one. Just the way he makes that touch, gets past the defender and just slots it in perfectly past Ilian Meslier. It was just brilliant. So, do I think Brighton can do it again? Possibly. With this Wolves defence right now, it's just not getting clean sheets. And Brighton just look a good team. Maybe away from home is where they're probably stronger, but, Wolves just don't feel right now they're going to win this one. Wolves 1, Brighton 3. Goal scorers will be, first of all, for Brighton, let's go with the forward, Neil Maupay. Then Wolves get hit back with an equaliser for Adama Traore. Brighton get their second goal of the game, and that will be through midfielder, that is Yves Bissouma. And the third goal for Brighton is going to be a goal off the bench from Solly March. And if he's still injured, then it will be instead midfielder, that is Moda. I think there's a player from them called Moda, pretty sure. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. Villa versus Manchester United is next. This could be a very interesting game, to be fair, because, it's two big teams battling it out. And, yeah, Villa have been really good this season. United obviously have 2 games this week because of that Liverpool rescheduling. So this is the first part of a interesting opportunity. And, I don't know, with United, they've got the semi-final with Roma before the Villa game. And then they've got maybe a game in between with the Premier League and also Europa League. So how much will they rotate? I don't know. But you'd think that they should still get a decent result in their match with Aston Villa. I just feel like Villa put up a fight at the minute, but I think United have just got about to get the 3 points and get through it. They've got enough to do it. Villa 1, Man United 2, and goals here, Ollie Watkins, and then an equaliser from Mason Greenwood, and the goal for Manchester United, a penalty from Bruno Fernandes to get him all 3 bonus points in fantasy football. Nah, I'm joking. He probably will just blank once again because he's been awful recently. Now it's West Ham v Everton. Now this is a tough game to predict actually, because at home West Ham have been really, really good. Apart from that Chelsea game obviously, but that was always going to be tough. Everton though, away from home, have been actually really, really good. So it's really hard to kind of put these two together and work out which one's going to win the tussle. Everton obviously last week not good in the fact that they lost to Villa, but they're still not putting in the worst performances. And Calvert-Lewin, you feel like they need to get him back in form for them to go on a little run. But Everton, they've still got an outside chance maybe of the European spots. It's just they need some consistency, and that's been the problem this season. West Ham have been very consistent, and that's why they're in the top 4. But, they're not looking right now in the top 4 because Chelsea are in that place. So they have to be winning this West Ham if they have any chance of the Champions League. And I think they will. West Ham 2, Everton 0. And goals here, both I think will come this time from Jared Bowen. Let's go for it. Then Arsenal v West Brom. Arsenal fans will predict a big win here because it's West Brom. They're probably going to be doomed to relegation. Fair enough, they've put up a great fight. Mateus Pereira has been class. Callum Robinson has chipped in with a few goals when it's been important, but just left it a little bit too late. Too little too late. And Arsenal ways, not on paper the worst fixture, but still not ideal. And West Brom, I think, will lose this one because Arsenal, they do want to keep on winning. It's not been a great season, but they need to at least get top half, you'd imagine. And West Brom, they're pretty low on confidence. So I'll say Arsenal 1, West Brom 0. You'd imagine maybe they rest a few players with an eye on that second leg with Villarreal. But, obviously the Villarreal game is before that. So potato. I don't know what they're going to do. But if they get through to the final, then maybe. Let's just see. But I'm still sticking with a nervy Arsenal win, 1-0. And the goal from Martin Odegaard. Then it's Fulham v Burnley. I'm going to go with the Fulham win, 2-1 to the Cottagers, because they need it. Burnley, they're probably safe. Chris Wood has done them enough favours. And Fulham, I think, need a favour right now. Mitrovic to get the opening goal for the Cottagers. Burnley to hit back through Westwood. And then Fulham get the second goal. And this time, it's from defender Kenny Tete. And if it's not Tete, then I'll go for Tosin Adrabayo. I think I pronounced that right. And then we've got Saints against Crystal Palace. Now, another tough game, I think, for Crystal Palace because Southampton, they have been pretty poor this season, but they can defy the odds, and they did that against Leicester. Very good battling win. And, Liverpool was going to be, I think, a bit tougher. But it's still an interesting game with Crystal Palace because both these sides, defensively have had their problems this season. So will it be a 0-0 because both sides struggle to score goals, or will it be a high-scoring draw? I don't know, but I feel like Palace can actually get the upper hand here because they'll take the momentum of that win at Sheffield United and just replicate it at St Mary's. So Saints 1, Palace 2. West Brom were the team that I just predicted in the Arsenal game, but a player who scored in the game against West Brom earlier on in the season, Christian Benteke, I think he'll score here to get Palace's first goal. But then Saints hit back with a goal from James Ward-Prowse, and Palace get their second goal through none other than midfielder Luka Milivojevic. He got a stunning winner a few seasons back at St Mary's. Or maybe it was a draw, I don't know. Then it's going to be Man United versus Leicester, and this is another big game for the hopes of Europe. Man United look like they're going to get second. It's pretty much been that time most of the season. Leicester, they need that top four. They don't want to bottle it once again, and this is going to be probably too much of an ask. So United 3, Leicester 1. Goals from Edinson Cavani, then a goal from Kelechi Iheanacho, and the goal for Man United is going to come from, again, Bruno Fernandes, and the third for Manchester United, Harry Maguire. The scenes against his former team. So 3-1 to United with Edinson Cavani once again absolutely lethal. Then it's Chelsea v Arsenal, and I'm going to say a tight game because these top 6 games usually are. Both sides kind of tend to cancel each other out, and in the reverse fixture, of course, it wasn't that. Arsenal tore them to shreds. Bukayo Saka getting a goal, and I seem to remember David Luiz, or maybe it was another defender getting the goal, but you know, a few goals past Chelsea there. But I think at home, Chelsea have been more solid defensively. They've been getting those clean sheets, and I think they will do that this time. So, you know, it might not be the perfect scenario for Chelsea because, you know, it's still a tough game, but I think they can do enough to get some kind of clean sheet. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0, and the goal comes from Antonio Rudiger. And then we have the final game, Aston Villa against Everton. Now, Everton, away from home, we mentioned, have actually been really good. But I feel like Villa, they're just a team that can blow hot and cold sometimes. They've had a great season this time, but I'm going to back Everton. And I think there will actually be a penalty save to get a lot of Villa fans excited from Emi Martinez to deny Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Who, to be fair, Calvert-Lewin recently has been part of an Everton team that has been struggling, especially they've been pretty awful at home. But, you know, other forwards in terms of the Euros, you've got like the likes of Patrick Bamford, who's been looking pretty isolated at the minute. Ollie Watkins, who's been in brilliant form. Harry Kane, of course. Callum Wilson, outside bet. Danny Ings, outside bet. And talking of the Euros, I will be bringing my Euro 2021 hashtag 2020, sorry, because it's copyrighted. I'll be bringing my content for that around about the 19th of May. So get it in the calendar, circle it in the calendar, and we will be bringing out videos the 19th, the 27th, and the 3rd to prepare us for that lovely little run of games for the Euros. And there's less than 5 weeks until those come about, so let's get excited for it, people. But I think that this game will see 2 very good England defenders face each other again. They both scored in the reverse fixture, which is Calvert-Lewin and Watkins. But I think just one of them will score this time. Aston Villa 1, Everton 3. And the goal for Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins. But Everton equalised through a goal from Gylfi Sigurdsson from the penalty spot. Everton get their second through Lucas Digne. And the third goal for Everton, I think, will come from the substitute, Alex Iwobi, who missed a great chance a few weeks back up at the Amex Stadium. Thanks for watching my Premier League predictions for matchday number 35. 14 games to sink your teeth into. And actually, I've just remembered, there's another one. 15 games. Man United versus Liverpool is on the agenda as well. So what am I predicting for that one? I predicted 2-2 in the original game. What am I going for this one? Well, I'm going to say it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be interesting, but not quite enough for Manchester United to win. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. And United will get the first goal through Marcus Rashford. He loves playing Liverpool. And then the equaliser for the team away from home, that is the Reds, it's going to be none other than... Oh, that's right, it's midfielder Fabinho. And if it isn't Fabinho because of injury, then it'll be Curtis Jones. And if it isn't Curtis Jones, then it'll be Bobby Firmino. There's a few little variables there for you to check out. So thanks for watching my Premier League predictions. It's been a good one. It's been a long one, but a strong one. And hope you smash a like on it. Comment yours down below and we'll see the best ones. Thanks for watching.